Evening, evening. I forgot to post this in Discord. Let me do that right now. Bit sick this evening. Shindo was the last person to get something in my atomizer that I could actually freaking taste last night. Um, Unfortunately, got sick again. I was probably sick yesterday. I was starting to get a little congested. Why am I not being able to do this? I was going to finalize a few recipes today and talk about Wayne's stuff, but I can't taste anything to finalize the recipes. I've gone to batch mixing when I'm close on iterations, and I can't taste any of the final versions. So we'll have to do that next week. Um, was going to talk a bit about taking a known profile, somebody who does something like, hey Shindo, like Wayne did with his Obsidian, calling it an RY4 base or a base for people to build upon. How do you add tobacco to that while leaving enough room for other concentrates to show through? And there's a variety of ways you can do it. One of them is you can treat it like a one shot and just reduce all of the percentage by an even small percent, or mix up a one shot and mix it a little bit weaker than the original recipe. And the other way is to take flavors out that you can replace aspects of them with concentrates, like, so pie crust is in it. Take pie crust out and use something like a French pipe, because it's got a nice toasted note. So there's a lot of ways you can do that. We'll talk about that more next week. I'm sick as hell, and I want to try to keep this going. I didn't want to just not do this again and become the every other week guy. So I'm going to do a terrible show while sick, and hey, we'll see where we go from there. I'm having my root beer from Sonic tonight. My wife actually couldn't get out of bed this morning. She was sick. And so I stopped at Sonic for dinner for everybody. And I don't even know what kind of root beer they have, but it isn't terrible. I'm going to do a really lazy mix it, fix it, or nix it. Y'all have heard me talk about Wayne's Obsidian. It's a mix it. It's not a fix it for me, but it's an add to it. I mean, I enjoy it itself, but anything that smacks of RY4 and doesn't have a tobacco note just makes me mad. So I always have to add tobaccos to them. But we'll do something that Shindo released today that I got to taste last night for the mix it, fix it, or nix it, and I'm fucking cheating. Pardon my language. I am cheating with it because it's really good. I mixed it. I loved it. I have no idea how it is. I mean, I have an idea of how it's gonna be on a steep. Of course, I don't know. I mixed it last night, and I mean, the shit is delicious. It is a. He actually made it public today. Let me see if I can find it, because he listed it somewhere right there. Post the link in the Discord, Shindo, and we'll talk about it for a little bit. Hey, Jaybird, how you doing, man? And I would vape some more of it, but it doesn't freaking matter. I can't fucking taste it anyway. And yeah, well, that's that. So, is that it? I don't know. That's it. That's it, because I can smell. I can smell. Can I taste? Can I taste? Hey, Philippe. I can taste. All right. So y'all see that recipe that and y'all can call this circle jerking or whatever. I don't really freaking care. I vaped it. It's delicious. I don't care who made it. Um, Glad a good friend made it, but hey, it's delicious. So he uses cured red burley and tatanka together with chocolate douche, douche, chocolate douche. Excuse me, man. The fever is horrible. And uh, Flavor Apprentice cherry extract. That cherry extract is delicious. The combo of that cherry extract with the chocolate douche, or whatever, the German chocolate stuff is ingenious. And the cherry extract does something good with Tatanka. To me, Tatanka low, like under 2%, closer to 1.5%, is really similar to a, like, maybe an American Spirit rolling tobacco. And then over that, it starts getting those. I mean, it's supposed to be Red Man chewing tobacco, and or an approximation of it, and it is at 3 and 4%. But a lot of people get chewing tobacco at any percentage of it, so it's kind of on my right flavor. I guess it just depends on what your perceptions are. But that cherry extract does something really cool with it in that it kicks it, depending on what part of the inhale or how wet your wicks are, it kind of kicks it from a really nice, non-offensive chewing tobacco note. And I love chewing tobacco, so none of it's going to be offensive to me. But I know some people don't, even though they may have smoked for 20 years, they just never put tobacco in their mouth. Well, you missed out. Anyway, so it kind of kicks it from a deeply fermented moisture cherry pipe tobacco to really nice, rich chewing tobacco. And then you've got the chocolate notes kicking around. I get coconut from that German chocolate concentrate, FLV chocolate douche. But I know I'm murdering that, man. I can't for the life of me remember how to pronounce it. I'm just going to keep pronouncing it like a jerk. Anyway, man, I think he did really good with the balancing of the tobaccos here. Using the cherry with Tatanka is a stroke of genius, as well as using that cherry with that specific chocolate flavoring. And interestingly enough, that's one of the few chocolates that I can try, that I can vape, that I don't hate. And I'm a person who doesn't, I mean, not that I like really cheap, milky, creamy chocolates. Anything that's even a hint of dark or rich, I hate. Deutsch. Yeah, I knew that. Hey, Sin, how you doing? So anyway, grats for using it where I wouldn't hate it. And it's a really good, well-balanced recipe. And it's another one that shows that you don't have to do like incredibly complex recipes to get an incredibly complex vape. Hey, Steve Maddox, how you doing, man? Shindo and I talked to this. You can do it and come to success with it, but often something can be way lower in the concentrates. I've done a lot here recently that have 3, 4, or 5 concentrates in them, and I don't know if I have any public, but I've got recipes that for 13 or 14th, and my theory is always use the concentrates that's needed to do the recipe. Sometimes that's 3, Sometimes you can do the exact same thing you did with 3 with 9, but why do it with 9 when you can do it with 3? So anyway, there you go. This is a perfect example of you can do something really complex, really well balanced without, using 0.2% of this and 0.3% of that, for a total of 13 or something. Anyway, definitely a mix it. You guys try that. I'm going to throw a review on it maybe later tonight. Hey, Mark Grimes, how you doing, man? Yeah, well, we're going to have an interesting show, as interesting a show as I can make it, because all of a sudden I can't smell again and my eyes are burning. I'm sick and I'm going to do this show anyway. I've got a bunch of like random stuff. Yeah, I'm sick. I've been, there's a bunch of random stuff that I've been wanting to talk about and not really been able to fit them into a big enough topic for a show. So we're going to talk about some of that. One of them's a conversation I had with a guy that just finally caught the show live, Mark Grimes. Is that I know I throw shade at a lot of tobacco flavors, the old ones. And it's not that you can't create something amazing with them. And it's not that you shouldn't use them to create something amazing. It's that I personally don't see the point in using four different older tobaccos to do one thing that I can grab a Captain Jack for pipe from an Awara and do, or FLV Red Burley and cured, Tobacco Robin and Tobacco Batman. It's that there are so much better tobaccos today, and I just don't think that doing something because it's a challenge to get an achievement in your own mind, I'll leave that to the people who that stuff matters to. More power to you. If I can do something with 3 concentrates that it takes somebody else to do with 7, I'm going to do that every time, because I ain't got time for that anymore. And we have some amazing concentrates out today these days. And I've heard some feedback about these, and I reached out to DIY Flavor Shack. Excuse me, guys. And they sent me all of their, I don't know if it's all of their AR tobaccos, but there's 7 of their AR tobaccos. And I had meant to try to mix these up tonight on the show or right before the show and try them. I can't do them justice right now. I actually mixed this one up yesterday because it smelled so weird. And I can't smell it right now. It smelled, actually, weird. I smell apple now. So last night, I'm like, why did they send me 2 apples? Because I asked, they, whatever they had that they thought would pair well, since you don't see a lot of AR recipes out there. And DIY Flavor Shack made the most perfect complex RY4 concentrate. There's 3 that I like, and even the one that I like that I talked some trash about, Soho. I kind of don't see the point in it. It's really weak, and it's not that unique to me, but it's a really good one. I like it. Jungle Flavors RY4 Double is everything that TFA RY4 Double should be. And DIY Flavor Shack Holy Grail RY4 is a really complex, nice, creamy thing that, you should all use, because it's amazing. So anyway, I reached out to them for their tobaccos, but they sent me this. It's 2 apples. And when I smelled it yesterday, excuse me, when I smelled it yesterday, all I could smell was spice and licorice. And so I looked it up, and it's apples with anise and licorice. And I thought immediately I was going to throw it in the trash, because I don't know if y'all have ever heard me talk. I hate licorice unless it's mixed with root beer. I hate anise unless it's in root beer or unless it is used really, really light and, something complimentary to me. Anyway, I mix this up and I don't hate it, so I am going to do it with a tobacco at some point, probably one of theirs. I don't know. I'll do at least one or two all ARs because they sent me these and I feel I should do it, so I will. But I'm also going to mix them with a bunch of other stuff, see how they go. I did talk to, I didn't talk to Don, but I talked to one of the guys there, and I was kind of blunt with them. I said, you guys know what's on the market today. If you don't think they compete, well, let's not waste each other's time. And they think they compete. And from the smell, I actually think they do too. I mean, I can't smell them now, but I did. Yeah, I still can't. I did smell them yesterday, and they smell good. And that's the one thing about the old. That should be poached pears, right? There's Grimes. If you want an excellent plum tobacco, mix Gold Ducat at like 2.5%, 3% max. 3%, man. The plum is good at 3%. Under 2%, at 2% or so, it's another thing that's completely different to me at two different things. Anyway, I digress. We're going to do something with the AR tobaccos soon. Hopefully when I can smell and taste. That's kind of moving in and out today. Hopefully it won't last long for me. I don't know. I'm going to go to the doctor tomorrow. I'm not going to wait for 3 weeks before I go this time. So anyway, the old style tobaccos, guys, if that's your bag, hey man, use them. When I find something that I'm going to have to like seriously work to get it to work in a profile, I just don't anymore. But I've been doing this a long time and I want things to be easy, man. I don't want to have to, fight the concentrate while I'm having to fight my mind to come up with a good recipe. I don't know, man, but before Christmas, I had gotten a bug that I don't know if it was the flu that is going around or whatever, but it gave me a sinus. It gave me it plugged my sinuses up completely and gave me a fever. And I would get up and go to work. I was shorthanded at work, so I kind of needed to be there because I was taking between Christmas and New Year's off. And anyway, I'd get up and I'd go, and I'm like, well, if the fever's still here by tonight, I'll make an appointment. I'll go to the doctor in the morning. By the time I got home, man, the fever's gone, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I'd wake up the next day, and I'd be feverish again. But then it would be gone. Well, anyway, and I wound up with sinus infection, both ears infected, and not able to hear out of them, and a lung infection. So, man, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm going to go to the doctor tomorrow and see if I need anything. I've got insurance, man. It only costs $20. I'm going to go. So, yes, I'm getting soft in my old age. I do have the beginning of the body aches. That's why I'm wearing my Superman hoodie, because my wife got this for me. I'm her Superman, and I feel like I need some strength right now. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I did just get her bug, so. Anyway, I am going to get up like a dummy and go to work tomorrow because, well, there's some stuff going on there that I just have to deal with. So, we talked about that. If you guys aren't members of the Chef's Flavors group and you're interested, you should go check it out. If y'all are interested at all in one shots, Chefs is like the king of one shots right now, man. They've got tons of really good recipes on there. And there is a whole set of them about to hit. They're teasing them every day. This is not a one shot, but soon you will be able to buy a one shot for this. I'm not going to leak the name till Chefs drops it. And there's another one too. But I don't have a 120 mixed of it yet. So we'll do it's good stuff, man. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but I got offered a slot on the e-juice makers team, and I was honored. Those guys have seriously put in a lot of work, and they've got a really good name, and they offered me a slot on their team. I was honored, and yeah, I'm gonna do some one shots, and we'll see how that works out. I was kind of, when they first asked me, because I know how they're doing the one shots now, I didn't know how I would feel about not releasing the recipes, but these days I'm doing enough recipes anyway, so y'all can have public ones, and then there'll be some y'all can buy the concentrates for if y'all want. If y'all don't, hey man, you don't have to. Nobody's twisting your arm. But anyway, moving on. I don't know what else I have. We can talk about tobacco history again, since there's a ton of it to cover. We kind of covered some really early crap once. Oh, Steve, I've got a bunch of FA flavors too, and I have a bunch of. I need to go through my E-Juice Me Up folders and doctor some of them up for current day hardware. Man, where Cog, where are you at? Are you Europe or US or where? Because in the US you can get Inaware from several places, man. The top 3 or so Inaware tobaccos, man, that is even harder than Flavora for me, because I mean Flavora is easy for me. It's like everything except commercial cigarette, unless you want a really ashy, stale-ish cigarette kind of thing. It's just too much ash for me. I don't enjoy it. Black for pipe. Try e-cigarette express. I think I got mine from, I want to say, probably Bull City Flavors. Yeah, Bull City and ECX. Man, all right. So, French for pipes got a really good toasted tobacco note. And I like that they kind of picked some of the important aspects from French tobaccos out and didn't concentrate on the classic black for pipe. Maybe. And I like that Inaware didn't pick the vanilla aspect that's in so many French tobaccos. They went for the toasted bright notes with them. It's a really good one. Inaware cured tobacco is a really good one. Inaware Virginia is a really good one. Inaware Virginia Absolute is a really good one for accents. It actually gives it a leafy taste, a tobacco leafy taste. I don't know. It tastes authentic. It adds another level of authenticity to a recipe. Black for pipe. Gold for pipe is good, but it's a steeper. It's really weird to me off of the shake. They have like 3 different cherry tobaccos that are really good. Cherry cigars really good. Cherry for pipes really good. Vanilla for pipe I love. It's got a really nice kind of classic one. I was fixing to say, you know where a Cavendish is really good? It has a horrific room note. If you've got people in your house that don't like seriously strong smelling weird tobaccos, but it's got a great flavor. Um, Actually, man, I think I would need to look at Anywhere's list of tobaccos for the ones I don't like, which is going to be way easier. They've got several cigars that are good. Definitely black for pipe, French pipe, vanilla for pipe, Captain Jack for pipe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought. This fever thing. What I was going to talk about something else. Um, Moving on. So, tobacco history. Uh, we talked about the early days a ways back, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in tobacco history that we don't need to talk about. But what I find interesting is that in the early days, they would getting tobaccos to market, getting tobaccos dried and to market was there is a ton of good stuff from other vendors. I like the ease of use of Flavora. Anyway, the the original getting tobacco cured into market before mold set in was a huge deal in the past. I mean, they would harvest it and then cure it under hay. You know, have dry hay and then put the wet tobacco out there and throw the dry hay over it to try to get the hay to absorb some of the moisture in the sun. And I think French pipe, Hangson and Super Concentrates both do a French pipe, and they're both Chinese, Steve. Anyway, getting them to market without mold was a huge deal because once the mold and mildew sets in on tobacco, it's no good. So they went to hanging in a barn and roasting it with fire, or smoking it, with fire, heat, using hot coals and directing the smoke out. So it's just flame cured and not necessarily, heat cured and not necessarily wood smoke or smoked. But they pick it, they cut the plant, and they stick it on rods, and then they go hang it up in their curing barns. But that didn't give them the fermentation that they were getting, laying it under the piles of hay to cure in the fields. So then, different people's come up with different ways to ferment. Some will ferment in barrels, press it into barrels. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the old barrel with the giant wood screw plate on top where they screw it down under pressure. There's a couple of different tobaccos that are made like that. Or they would just lay it in giant presses and, make huge, giant square bricks of it. Anyway, and fermented like that. Spray sugar and flavorings in them. Uncured tobacco is really dry and astringent. So almost all tobacco has a certain level of, a certain percentage of sugar added to it. They call it casing to, get it, the richness to come out of it instead of the astringent notes. Anyway, so let's talk about Burley, which was can't bake bakeries and candy all day long waiting on the kids to fall far. I need fear in my life. Thank you, Mark. Burleys all started out as two different varietals of Burley. Both of them, interestingly enough, started in Kentucky. One of those varietals moved down to Louisiana, into St. James Parish specifically, and became a red Burley. And the other Burleys in Kentucky were hybridized and bred, and there was a faster growing, bigger leaf variety that became the commercial Burley that everybody knows of today. Back then they called it blonde or white Burley. And then the darker Burleys they use, are the Kentucky dark tobaccos. Anyway, it's almost the most prevalent tobacco in American tobacco use because it's used in a real high percentage in pipe tobaccos. It's a main component in most chewing tobaccos or smokeless tobaccos in America, and it's high content in most American cigarettes. They're a blend of Burley and Virginia. Anyway, Sin, those big barrels could have been a cleaner way to get grape juice for wine. Also, olive oil presses look kind of like that too. Big barrels with screw presses or big boxes with screw presses on them. And they do that for tobacco as well. But they do the same. I mean, it's just a technology that was developed. They do it for cheese and all kinds of stuff. The original presses in St. James Parish for Perique are still, hundreds of years old and still being used. And I'm getting to where I can't maintain a train of thought and I can't taste a single fucking thing. I need to mix up some Inawera natural mint and some Flavora peppermint. So, if y'all haven't tried Shindo's Black Forest Tobacco, you definitely should. If you're a person who hates any hint of chewing tobacco, you should probably not. And I feel sorry for you. If you hadn't yet played around with Wayne's Obsidian, you should do it. We're definitely talking about it next week, provided I can taste and smell between now and then sometime. And if you're not a member on Chefs, head over there and get in the group. And the Chefs is teasing a recipe profile every day. And if you hadn't liked the E-Juice Makers page on Facebook, go like that. If you care to. If you don't, hey, don't. You haven't tried Shindo's tobaccos. Shindo doesn't have many tobaccos, but Shindo is fixing to have a bunch of them because Shindo is secretly hiding at home vaping tobacco all day while talking about other concentrates with people so he feels normal. But he's becoming one of us. He's coming out of the tobacco closet, so to speak. Weird. I can taste strawberry and WS-23 a little bit. I don't know that Wayne doesn't know tobacco. Wayne just doesn't really care for tobacco at all. I mean, and if you don't care about something, it's super hard to mix for it. Like, there's a lot of profiles that or specific flavorings that I just don't care about, and it's hard for me to mix with them. Like, it's going to be a challenge to use 2 apples. I'm actually going to use it because it's a licorice flavor, anise flavor that I didn't hate immediately, so I'm going to use it. But it's going to be a struggle because I don't like it. I haven't done much with it. Jaybird, I don't know that your tobacco game is weak. I think you just don't do it very much. I mean, I know you vape it here and there, but another one that I tried recently that I didn't review. I'm a terrible person. Was um, Skittles Ninja tobacco recipe a while back. It was pretty good. It was a lighter tobacco, but it was really good. I think I put the bottle up to see how it would do on a long steep and forgot about it. I'll have to dig it out. The website is chefsflavors.co.uk, but the Facebook group is boom. Let me see. The Facebook group is Chef's Flavors space the kitchen, and it's a huge group. There's a whole bunch of mixers in there. It's an international mixing group. It's a international mixing group. I mean, of course, they promote their own flavorings and everything in there, but they do live streams. They got some really interesting stuff in there. Anyway, it's a good group. Chef Flavors is a really good company. I will say that their shipping from the UK to US is really, really affordable. It's not like you would think with regular international shipping. And they have beat American vendors on price and shipping cost and shipping time when ordered to my door when ordered on the same day. Is mind-boggling. I ordered something from them on a Monday. I got it the next Monday. I ordered something from Nicotine River that same Monday, and I got it like, I don't know, 13 days later, 14 days later. It was crazy. And I was stupid and it didn't hit the $50 thing, and, well, their shipping sucks. And, hey, I like Nicotine River, man, but if you're going to use them, you need to do $51. So you get that free shipping. Hey, Kit, how you doing, man? Soho is interesting, man. It's an RY Ford. To get the full benefit from it, it's like, I mean, they said it's a one shot from them, and I think when they first rolled it out, they said they were going to do it cheaper than all the rest because you need 9 to 10% to really get all the effects from it. And they didn't feel that was fair to fit in their pricing scheme with their regular super concentrated flavors. But I hadn't seen that. All vendors carry it for the same price as all the rest of theirs. And, speaking of VT, Vape Train Australia, I'll talk about them in a second. Anyway, it's a good RY4. It's just like a smoky caramel vanilla kind of thing. And I don't know. It's just a little bit on the weak side. Great, Kit. I'm glad you like it. Vape Train Australia. I talked to dude from there, and he's got some new tobacco concentrates coming soon, and I'm hoping to get some more of his stuff. Next week, I'm going to send you 2 of most interesting tobacco. Okay. Anyway, he's going to send me the his new tobaccos, and I hope his older tobaccos. There's a couple that are really well received, but I hope I get some more of his flavors because they're supposed to be hitting the U.S. vendors soon, and that'll be awesome to be able to get another concentrate line. I don't know, man. Back in the dark ages of mixing, we were really hurting for concentrates. I mean, we had Capella wasn't super popular yet. Flavor Art was around. Seedman's was around. I want to say Fairy's Finest came around early, and people used a ton of Lorans. Hey, Russ. I mean, of course, Flavor West was around. I really wished I could taste. I'm just wasting juice testers because, well, I didn't mix up any mint yet. And I'm starting to really, really ramble bad. So if y'all got some questions, ask them and we can talk about them. I want Vape Train bad because there's a couple of people that I trust their palate explicitly that are like talking unicorn level shit with a few of their flavors, and I gotta see that because I've been chasing effervescence since 2010, maybe before. Anything from Nick Vape that I need to own? I think they have a really good orange. I think, I tried a bunch of their stuff a while back. I know their watermelon is really good. I'm not like super big on watermelon. When I get it, I do something stupid like, put grape and strawberry in it and a ton of menthol because, hey, that was my jam way back when. And I don't know that I ever really gave Nick Vape's tobaccos a good try because that might have been when I was like losing all faith in artificial tobacco concentrates and mainly getting into nets. Yeah, Ruthless has it. Ruthless has that combo, but man, that combo's been around forever, and it's been all kinds of ghetto names. Mount Baker Vapor has a version of it called Thug Juice, and a local shop here has a version of it called Bug Juice, and they've got another local vape shop that's got a version of it that's not socially inappropriate these days. I want to say Lightning or Purple something. I can't remember. Anyway, it's been a profile that's been around for a long time. I like tobaccos. Shindo, one of the things I like tobaccos is, I've said it over and over again, they just go with everything. And they're really interesting because aside from like natural vanillas, there's really not that much that you can grab in the real world that's that complex, as complex as some tobaccos can be. And I love vanilla. But anyway, I like really complex shit. It's fun. Yeah, I don't know that I don't really. I do vape some mouth to lung stuff, but almost everything I vape is restricted lung hit, just boring single coils. Sticks has some really good nats. I need to release some recipes for these that he sent me. I'm dropping the ball on that. Oh, also, I'm gonna do something with that real Stoon custard premium. I've got a resupply on Flavor Out whipped cream because that shit is bomb. And I want to do corn pudding. So I got Flavor Out corn. And the gentleman that made this happen was kind enough to send me boiled chicken, cured ham, prosciutto, crudo, pollo bolito, and mozzarella. Am I going to sell my nets? I am not. I am not going to get in the business of selling tobacco. I'm just not. I don't know. Sin, I think there's a difference between some complex mixes to me are over flavored, and if they're real nuanced, and yeah, I know, Mark. I'm like, what? Anyway, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll do something. If we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll vape that shit. I'm going to regret saying that someday. No, I'm not. Not that many people like tobacco. I'm safe. Anyway, boiled chicken. Yeah. Prosciutto, yeah. It's from their kitchen line. I don't know if it's safe to vape. I'll vape a couple of hits of it just because, I mean, I've vaped the mozzarella before. It was a challenge a long time ago. Back when you could buy their kitchen line everywhere. I wish they would put their original yogurt back in their kitchen line. I would travel to Italy to buy gallons of that stuff. That was like the perfect yogurt flavoring. Man. So, I've been working on a custard, buttered pecan custard tobacco. I wished I knew how close I was, but I really liked the version I mixed up yesterday, but I don't know how it's going because I can't freaking taste it. And I wished I would have labeled Shindo's recipe because I have 3 here with no label, and it's one of those. But hey, be interesting if I could taste it. Prosciutto. You know, you'd think I would be better at that. I have a brother-in-law from Italy. Man, don't hold on to it for too long. Jaybird, just use that stuff and be happy. That's enough to mix 200 mil of my old favorite yogurt recipe. Mark, another really good pickle is actually TFA. Yeah, I do have an Italian wife, although she's New York Italian and she's not really into the. She's into the pastas and the sauces and stuff. I mean, we always have homemade pasta sauce in the, or as she calls it, gravy in the freezer because she makes giant tubs of it and then freezes quarts of it. But she's not into the weird Italian deli meats and cured meats, and she's not a seafood person at all. Her uncle makes a really good squingili that I love, but she can't stand. So, actually, one of her other relatives makes a really, really, really good eggplant parmesan. All right, guys. Well, I can't keep a straight train of thought, and I got nothing else to ramble on or fill space with tonight, and I can't believe I made it this long. So before this turns into a cured meats show, I might end it here, and I'll see you guys next week. Remember, Chef's Flavors. Um, 28 flavors, I believe. 28 one shots from E-Juice Makers, the E-Juice Maker collection coming out. It's going to be awesome. You guys check it out. Mine aren't the only tobacco recipes in there. Some really good ones from some other notable mixers. Yeah, y'all check it out if you feel like it. And peace. See y'all next week.